and welcome to the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber's annual Salute to Business Breakfast. I'm Lindsay McCoy, anchor of 21 News at 5 at WFMJ-TV, and I am honored, as the Chamber's team and the Board of Directors are too, to be among you for this signature and celebratory event. We look forward to this program every single year so that we may continue the longtime tradition of saluting businesses and business leaders in our community. We will present awards to 6 deserving individuals who have given tirelessly of themselves for those in our valley to continue to make it a better place to work, to live, and of course, play every day. We're also excited to present a special Valley Champion Award to a Brookfield native who has had a sweet career, pun intended, in the bakery industry as a renowned pastry chef. We are proud to welcome her home. This morning, we are also looking forward to hearing from our keynote speaker, joining us on behalf of the world's largest electronics manufacturer, which has a facility in our own backyard. But first, allow me to introduce those who are sitting at our head table. From my left, Alexa Sweeney-Wacon, interim CEO of Lake to River, our keynote presentation sponsor. Robert Schlager, head of the On High USA Communications. Guy Coviello, President and CEO of the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber, and Ted Schmidt, Regional President at PNC, our Gold Breakfast sponsor. By the way, he says banking hours start very early, so good afternoon. To my right, Sarah O'Brien, the owner of the Little Tart Bake Shop and our Valley Champion Award recipient, excited to hear her story. And Billy Keel, United Way Labor Liaison for the Western Reserve Building Trades, our Salute to Labor Achievement sponsor this morning. Thank you all for being here. Over 3 decades, the Chamber has been having a salute. This has become a tradition and an event that the official kickoff of the Canfield Fair really signifies, and the Youngstown State University football season kicks off. So this is our moment to show that summer's over, sadly, and here we go for all the exciting things that this region has to offer moving forward. Now, this year's no different. I know everyone in the room is excited for both of these events, and you're probably making your internal memo right now, okay, I want to order this food, enjoy this game, so you're not the only one. Now, with 177 years in the books, the fair has become an annual tradition for hundreds of thousands of people and families in our valley. And somehow each year, the 3rd largest county fair in the entire country is even bigger and better than the last one. It's impressive. So let's give a warm welcome from our valley to the Canfield Fair Board President, Dave Mannion.
The best part of summer. Are y'all ready for the fair? 2 days? 3 days? 5 days if you go today? I am Dave Mannion, President of the Fair Board, and it's great to be with you. The 178th Annual Canfield Fair Board Fair is up and running. We had a great day yesterday. We've got a good morning this morning. We have to rush after this. We've got ribbon cutting. Jim But I also have some Fair Board members with me, and I would like to introduce them. If they can, you guys want to introduce, you just want to stand up. He's a country music singer, if you're not familiar. And then Daughtry Hinder, Cherry, if you're a rock fan from the 90s. I kind of stopped at Van Halen in the 80s. But if you like those 3 bands, we can get you in there Monday night. The weather for Monday is supposed to be spectacular, by the way, so you may want to catch that. What else is new? We have some technology improvements this year at the fair. We have self-serve ride ticket kiosks, which are very timely. The rides, if you've not experienced the rides the last few years, they're terrific. We got a new ride company a few years ago, and I never thought I'd see lines like that during the fair. And a kind of an insider tip, if you've got kids, you don't want to wait in the hot sun, you don't want to wait 15, 20 minutes for each ride. Today's a great day, and tomorrow to go out, and of course Saturday and Sunday things pick up. But yesterday it was great. Kids were just flying through them rides, and they had a great time. So we've got that going. Additionally, if you're at the fair, you're out there trying to text or get a cell call from somebody that you're supposed to be meeting, and you can't get it to go through, We think we've got that resolved this year. Fair Board member Bob Jarvis had a couple portable cell towers installed, and so we believe that we will have good cell service, maybe for the first time out at Canfield, and we're really happy about that. Social media, another change. We're doing a lot of giveaways on social media this year, so if you're interested in ride passes or admission gate tickets, we have all the social media platforms that we use. We're doing some neat giveaways. Physically, for those of you that remember the old windmill up by Old McDonald's barn in the antique section, which is my year-to-year annual job out at the fair, but we have a new windmill and a water feature that the kids just love. It's right outside, still outside of the new Old McDonald's barn in the new antique tractor section. And we've moved some things around. They say time is undefeated. Well, it is for us, but it's also for buildings too. And after a very storied career, the pumpkin barn let us know that its time was up. So it had to come down. But don't fear, the pumpkins are just about 60 feet away in the Grange building. And I think it's going to work out really well. It's just a bigger building. A lot of times you walk up to the pumpkin building and you think, man, it's awful packed in there, but I'd love to see them pumpkins. But this has two nice, great big aisles with exits at both sides, and the flow is going to be terrific, and it's going to work out very well. If you are a Grange fan, never fear, the Grange will still be there. It's going to be over at the Hay and Grain building. To make room at the Hay and Grain building, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources had a real nice exhibit, and the kids shoot little bow and arrows, really a neat deal. And they're moving across to the 4-H building. And in addition to that, again, we will have our first ever C-130 flyover. So that's what's new. I'm a big fan of what's new, and I'm a big fan of what's old also. This year, our theme is the Valley's Homecoming, and so I think it's appropriate that we have all these football coaches. I just don't see Doug Phillips. Where is Doug? All right. I grew up with Doug and his family, a fellow Springfield local graduate. So homecoming, and then Jim Trussell coming out to the ribbon cutting. But beyond the football tie-in, we have so many people. You know, in a county of 225,000 people, we get upwards of 300,000 at the fair. I don't know if there's many county fairs that get more population than the entire county, at least of the larger counties in the state. And there are thousands, I'm convinced of it, that come in from shore to shore to the county. I was talking to somebody just south of Seattle yesterday that flew in. They're from the area, but there's a lot of people that come back. Some of them have kept their camper spots out there. Once they latch onto a good camper spot, they like will it to their children because they just, you can't blow them out of there with dynamite. And it's just amazing how many people come in for that. And you think, well, what's the attachment? Now, I'm speaking to people of a certain age here, and so for you youngsters, you'll have to forgive me. You won't recognize any of these names, but a lot of the things that we grew up with, the elements of our daily familial life in the Valley, you know, we shopped at places called Hills and Straus's and Consolidated, Montgomery Ward's, and we spent our weekends at Idora Park, and we loved to go to Isley's, and who remembers Palaco's Donuts? Oh my God, if we could get those on a Sunday, it was heaven. A lot of the things we grew up with just aren't there. But when you pull into that fairgrounds, it's like, to me, it's like walking into a time machine. You will walk back into your childhood, if you will. And it's kind of a multi-generational rite of passage to me in the Valley. When you're a young kid, your parents take you out there, and there's all this, you know, as a young kid in the 60s, especially, there was, we had 3 channels. That was our entertainment. If you were lucky enough to get Channel 45 real fuzzy. And not that there's anything wrong with the local channels. But you didn't have, you went out and you played football and baseball, whatever you could do. And you got to the Canfield Fair and kaboom, there's, back then they used to have the side shows, I don't want to call them freak shows, in the midways, and you had the rides, and you had all the food that you never got to see but once a year. And it was just wonderful. And you didn't, even back then at an early age, you didn't worry about your problems. If you had somebody at school that was mean to you, you never thought about that. Then as you get older, you might work at the fair. I was a Shirley Steak Hoagie employee, and you might you have your first date at the fair, which I did. My wife's not here, and it wasn't with her, so I go ahead and say that. Hopefully that's not on TV tonight. For the 4-H'ers, the wonderful 4-H program, of course, the fair since 1846 has been about agriculture. But then you get a little bit older. Of course, we all wore our football jerseys there and met our friends there and so forth. You get a little bit older, you start having kids, and you get to watch it all through their eyes again. And you seem to enjoy it. You know how much they're enjoying it, and it's just so rewarding. And then as a grandfather, you get to do it again. And it's just incredible. And I see people out there that I graduated high school with, which I rarely see otherwise. When I was going to Youngstown State, I worked on the Ohio Turnpike. I see people that I worked with on the Turnpike. And so it's just a wonderful event, a homecoming that I think everybody enjoys. We're supposed to have beautiful weather. We have to leave. We have the ribbon cutting here shortly. But we hope to see you all out there. God bless you. The Fair Board loves you. We work very hard, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you, Dave, to your entire board and fair team for your hard work and efforts. Thank you so much. We're going to wish you wonderful success into Labor Day. In addition to our fair fanatics, our community is home to hundreds of thousands of football fans. This is football country, let's be honest. And this time of year is really an exciting time for us as we cheer on our local teams and the college teams as well. Valley native Doug Phillips became the Penguins' 8th head football coach in 2020. He and the team are gearing up for their season opener tonight against Villanova, at Villanova. So Coach Phillips was disappointed that he couldn't join us right here today, but he wasn't going to let us kick off salute without him. Ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the screens.
Ready, right. Now it's your turn. You better get out of those seats. Ready, ready. Want to wish everyone at the Youngstown-Warren Chamber of Commerce a great year with the opening of the Canfield Fair. I know we're always at the event, but this year we're on our own mission as we're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, getting ready to take on the Villanova Wildcats tonight at 6 p.m. So with that, we have a few young men that would like to say a few words.
I'm Devin Johnson, linebacker number 45, and we want to thank you guys for all the support from local businesses. We cannot succeed without you guys.
Tyshawn King, number 10, running back. We would love for you guys to come support your hometown team this year.
Go Wins!
All right, yes, go Penguins. We appreciate Coach Phillips for taking the time. Yeah, he got us on our feet. Well, he tried to get us on our feet. We're not going to tell him that we just relaxed. He's intimidating, but he's got that team going. Also moving on, I'd like to welcome back and thank for their longtime support of this event our sponsors, both the PNC Financial Services Group and Western Reserve Building Trades. They've been a part of this event for the past 15 years, while Lake to River, having formed and launched just a few short months ago, is joining us to salute for their first time, of course, no stranger to this event. And we are fortunate that these businesses continually support the Chamber and its initiatives, and the team appreciates their generosity. Allows them to bring you more than 100 programs and events every year. Join me in welcoming for their remarks from PNC Regional President Ted Schmidt.
Thank you. Good morning. We're really proud to be here. 14th consecutive year. We support the Chamber for many reasons that everybody here does, for the great work that they do to drive the success of our community. Instead of taking time today to talk about all the great products and services and the amazing team that I have over here, I just want to thank our customers for having trust in PNC. Your trust enables us to create solid products, make sure that your information is safe, and we always act on that trust and we never take it for granted. And with that trust, we can give back to the community. So I want you to be on the lookout for some great, exciting grant announcements that we're going to have in the near future regarding early learning and economic community development. Now, to get on with the program, I want to close by saying congratulations to all of our awardees today. You do great work. And everybody in this room, if it weren't for everything that you do, the Mahoning Valley would not be thriving. And I think it's just going to continue to get better. Lex is up here, she's going to talk a little bit, the Lake to River announcement that we made a while back and the engagement that they have now with our community in developing new businesses to the area. I think we're in the right direction. In fact, I know we're in the right direction. So thank you for your support.
Thank you, Ted. And to all those at PNC for your longtime support of this event, and thank you to the Chamber and our guests. We're going to hear from our friends at Lake to River and the building trades a little later on in the program, but to Alexa Sweeney-Block-On and the Lake to River team and Billy Keel and all of those within the trades, we're so appreciative of your partnership and the work that our Chamber has accomplished with both of you. So thank you so much. And I would also like to take a moment to thank all of our additional Salute to Business sponsors for their commitment and participation this morning. Video sponsor, Boken Sons, decor sponsor, Elwood, silver sponsors, Commercial Metal Forming, Dawn Incorporated, and Discover Global. Bronze sponsors include Armstrong, Krugliak, Wilkins, Griffith, and Doherty, Mercer County Community Federal Credit Union, Platts Realty Group, Schwabels, Shapes Unlimited, and Tata Steel. Our dessert sponsor, the always marvelous Nothing Bundt Cakes. They're nothing but delicious. And our foundation dinner and reception sponsors, the Business Journal, Humtown, Valorix, 717 Credit Union, AIM Transportation Solutions, Akron Children's Hospital, Mahoning Valley, Dator Companies, Eastwood Mall, HBK, Hitchhiker Manufacturing, HSH Drywall, Mercy Health, Premier Bank, Shapes Unlimited, Trumbull County Community Foundation, Redex Industries, and the Winner Foundation. Can we please have a round of applause for all of the sponsors this morning? Now, before we start off with our award presentations, I want to take a moment to recognize several special companies and organizations that are in attendance here. It is remarkable that so many businesses in our valley do celebrate milestone anniversaries every single year, and they've chosen to call Youngstown-Warren area their home. We are proud to salute those businesses that are making milestones of 25 years or more, as well as any celebrating 100 years plus in business. And here with us this morning, I would like to thank their owners, management, employees for their longevity, their success, their commitment, and the employees for really all of those efforts. Those significant contributions to our community really do make a difference. To the 24 businesses that are here today, on behalf of the State Board, fellow members, and the entire community, congratulations. I would like to ask those who are representing these businesses, please stand as I read names and remain standing until all of the businesses are honored. All right, celebrating an astounding 220 years as a community, Bezetta Township. As we noted earlier, with 178 years, and I know that they had to leave a few minutes ago for the Canfield Fair. Celebrating 150 years, the Ursuline Sisters. With 130 years in business, Goodwill Industries. Yes, marking 120 years in our valley, YWCA of Mahoning Valley. Celebrating 116 years, Compass Family and Community Services. With 114 years, the Public Library of Youngstown and Mahoning County, the Youngstown-Columbiana Association of Realtors as well. Marking 101 years, Packer Thomas and the United Way of Trumbull County. Celebrating 105 years, the United Way of Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley. Celebrating 100 years, the American Heart Association, Heinz Industries, Mercy Health, St. Joseph Warren Hospital, and Thomas Steel Strip. And regarding Thomas Steel Strip, we want to specifically give a shout out to the Brown family for 4 generations that have worked for the company, which speaks volumes for them. John Brown, who's here today, and also the company, congratulations to all of you. Celebrating 75 years, the Cafaro Company, Hill, Barth and King, and the Raymond John Ween Foundation. With 50 years, the Better Business Bureau, Boak & Sons, Foxconn, and Quality Switch. Marking 45 years, the Smart Marketing Company. With 40 years, TELUS Solutions. And celebrating 25 years in our valley, Palo Creative. Again, a big round of applause. It's a lot of years, a lot of commitment, and of course, success. Each of these businesses have received certificates and the always delectable, amazing bundt cakes donated by Nothing Bundt Cakes to enjoy with their teams. Congrats again to all of you. We have one last order of business before we begin our presentations of awards. The Regional Chamber's signature events, garnering crowds of this size. For the record, by the way, today's salute, this is the largest crowd that they have had since 2007, believe it or not. So look around, this is a packed room, literally selling out at capacity, over 550 people, and the team felt compelled to partner with various nonprofits once again for 2024 to do this, so as they did in 2022. And they also asked attendees to donate items to worthy causes. So you're all making a difference here today. And for our event today, we are focused on the needs of Junior Achievement of Eastern Ohio. Over 70 years, Junior Achievement has provided tools to the youth in Trumbull, Mahoning, Columbiana, and Ashtabula counties that inspire them to prepare for success, not just here, but on a global scale. We're in a global economy anymore. So JA's programs are based on experimental learning, connect K through 12 students with pathways that match their interests and skill sets. Junior Achievement's proven lessons in financial literacy. Remember those little worksheets you filled out about math and how to do a business? Oh yeah, I remember those. They also work with career readiness now. They've taken it to a new level, entrepreneurship. They've shown to positively impact the lives of young people, and JAEO reached over 14,000 students in the 2023-24 school year through in-school instruction, student-based competitions, and special events. We've heard a lot about them. They're up to a lot of good things. And we appreciate those who brought the needed items on Junior Achievement's list this morning. So if you forgot, no worries. You can certainly give monetary donations on your way out. And if you did contribute, you were given a ticket, and we drew for 4 lucky tickets to receive a gift card from a chamber member establishment. And we will get those winners to you here shortly. Okay, so now it is my distinct honor to begin the award presentation of our program. Here we go. We film stories with our honorees so that we can show you why we're saluting them in their story today. Instead of telling you about it, yeah, we could do that. We're gonna see behind the scenes what it's like. So first, our first award, Business Professional of the Year, is presented annually. This is in recognition of a Valley business owner's professional leadership and overall success, continued growth and development, longevity, and community presence of his or her company. Please turn your attention to the screens now to learn more about our recipient. Not that long ago, his wife sold nearly everything, including their car, to pursue their dream. They did it all. And the investment they made with those proceeds have resulted in a global operation, multiple companies, a rapidly growing enterprise centered right here in the Mahoning Valley. Let's meet Greg Toperser, the owner of Property Holdings, Top Property Holdings.
I'm Greg Toporser. I'm the developer of Top Property Holdings. It's an industrial park out in North Jackson, Ohio. It would be called North Jackson Commerce Park. Top Property Holdings is a venture we started to create Class A manufacturing space or distribution space for companies to move into the valley. There's a need in the valley for 32-foot height clear span buildings. We can generate companies come into here, move into the valley, create jobs for people coming out of the universities, local universities, and that's kind of our future of it. In 2022, we bought 45 acres out in North Jackson. The park will consist of 5 buildings. We're working on phase 1, which we're going to start this fall. Hopefully next month is when we'll actually be breaking ground and moving dirt. And phase 1 will be about a $7.5 million project. In total, when the park's complete, it'll be between about $35 and $40 million project. My wife and I are entrepreneurs. Back in 2007, we both quit our jobs and started our first company called Discover Global. Discover Global is a supply chain solution company. Then in 2015, we purchased the assets of a company called Kentrol. So Kentrol's been around for 30 years. We started a company called Duratrain, and Kentrol became a brand of Duratrain, and it focuses on Jeep and aftermarket accessories. 2017, we started another brand called Fishbone Off-Road, which focused more towards Jeep and truck, just to kind of get in that truck market. Is pretty big. And then in 2019, we started a company called Rustbuster Frame Repair. In 2021, then we started with the Top Property Holdings business, right? So we started with the next venture. It's our first development of an industrial space. So we've rehabbed some buildings in the past, we've done some residential, but to start from scratch and procure land and go through the whole process, it's a little bigger project than we thought, but it's coming along. When Guy from the Regional Chamber mentioned about receiving this award, I was shocked. And I'd like to thank Guy and his team from the Chamber. We've also had a number of partners in the area that have been helpful. Can't thank enough to Team NEO and Jobs Ohio. Lydia Mahalik and Ohio Department of Development have been instrumental. Anthony at the Western Reserve Port Authority, we've partnered with them on this new venture. And then can't leave out Huntington Bank. So without all of them and part of our team, this wouldn't really happen. So it's great to see everybody come together to help build this in the Valley.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please salute our Business Professional of the Year, Top Property Holdings, Mr. Greg Tepurser. And Greg, will you please stand so that we can applaud you? Congratulations to you and your wife, your team, on the success and growth of Top Property Holdings, and for all of you, what you do to shine a spotlight on the Youngstown-Warren region. We wish you most success here in the future. Now, we next present our Business Advocate of the Year Award for positive and significant impact on the development of advancement of a business or businesses within our region. Our recipient has spent the past decade working tirelessly for small businesses, nonprofits, and government entities, raising millions of dollars on their behalf so that they can grow and plan for their futures. So let's learn a little more about Kristen Olney, the founder and CEO of Co Consulting LLC. Please turn your attention to the screens right now.
My name is Kristen Olney. I am the CEO of KO Consulting. We are a community and economic development company. That means we handle everything from small business development, grant writing, strategic planning, cash flow statements for small business, nonprofits, and municipalities. I was very fortunate to be the grants coordinator for Mahoning County for 10 years, and that allowed me to learn a lot about grants and economic development. And from that, I knew Northeast Ohio has a propensity for needing grant assistance. We leave about $500 million on the table annually in grants we just don't apply for. So I knew if I took the leap of faith and started a firm that we would be able to be successful and help a lot of our local small businesses, nonprofits, and governments. Started off when I left probably with 1 or 2 clients, and now fast forward 4 years, we have about 35 clients, which is tremendous growth. My goal is to, focus lake to river and Northeast Ohio on revitalizing the macro and the micro of the economy. It takes a village to raise a child. It has taken a village to raise KO. And for me, that is whether you've been in my life for 24 years or 24 days. There's been a tremendous impact to me. From teachers, I had great teachers growing up, to obviously my parents and my sister are tremendous inspirations. And then just such a thanks to the Chamber for this distinguished honor. And then all of our clients. Of course, Josh Press from Press Public Strategies. He is our partner at KO on the government affairs, government relations side. And then last but certainly not least, everybody here at Team KO. Pat, Gina, Matt, Flavio, Lisa, Kelsey, Kara, Carolyn, and Nico. We have a great team here that is growing and growing fast. I will carry this torch for the next year and as a reminder of how important the work of small business is.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's congratulate her, KO Consulting's Ms. Kristen Alme. And she's in Germany this week. She's a worker. She is busy, so working on behalf of her clients, I'm going to make sure that we all ask Pat Lowry now to come up, and those who are here in support of her to please stand and be recognized. Congratulations. Yeah. Like I said, she's hustling at KO Consulting. They are busy. All right, well, thank you so much. Our next award was created to honor the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation, as well as growth within the Valley. Our recipient leads a family-owned business that has made considerable investments in business that benefits health and wellness in the community, as well as adds tourism and entertainment impact to the downtown Youngstown economy. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens to meet Ronell Elkins, owner and operator of Yogo Bike Share.
Yogo Bike Share is an innovative bike sharing platform using e-bikes as a mode of transportation throughout downtown Youngstown and surrounding areas. We use docking station as a way to kind of keep the bikes all grouped together, but also that allows the bikes to be able to charge. We wanted to create a way for people to be able to get around and navigate downtown Youngstown without using vehicles. We've actually just completed over 1,000 rides, which is great, and 500 users. Users are the people that signed up to be able to use our app, download, add money to their wallet. We're happy with the progress. In 4 months, we've been able to amass that, and so we know it's going to be a learning curve, psychological curve in terms of how people are using the bikes, but we're here for the challenge. There's plans for other docking stations. We want to run up along the Mahoning corridor, Market Street as they revamp that. We want it to be accessible to people to be able to first and last mile trips, is that what we call them. And so if it's a doctor's visit, grocery store you want to go to, right? But we don't necessarily have a docking station in your neighborhood. You're able to ride the bus, catch the bus to a docking station, and then take the bike to the grocery store and doctor's visits and things like that. What gets me excited is when I still see people riding the bikes. Like, it's almost like the first time me seeing it, it's like, wow, we brought something to our city that people are using. My reaction to winning the Salute to Business Entrepreneur of the Year award was surprise, I'm sure, for most people that win the award. Because again, when you're doing a startup and something new, you don't know how public perception or, the public is going to, gravitate towards what you're doing. But we're truly grateful for the support that we've been able to garner in our community and our city. First of all, we want to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, my family, my wife. Thank you to Derek McDowell, City of Youngstown, YBI, Vern Richburg, Youngstown-Warren Chamber of Commerce for the award, Valley Partners, Ray and Phil Jaminet, Will Beverly, and Jose Martinez with Beverly Martinez Construction, YSU Rec Department, and all of our sponsors. And so we appreciate everybody for just taking this ride along with us.
Wow. Please salute our 2024 Entrepreneur of the Year, Mr. Ronell Elkins. He makes it look like riding a bike, but he is definitely an innovator. I talked to him on the news right when he was starting this, and it's so inspiring. We wish him more success. Our next award, Small Business Professional of the Year, honors those who display leadership in his or her business and dedication and commitment to customers and the community overall. We're going to present this award to an individual who, although shares that she has no former culinary training, is planning to open the 3rd location of her widely popular Sweet Melissa's Good Eats and Restaurants in the Valley, opening her first location 7.5 years ago with just 6 employees. Sweet Melissa's now has 29 employees across its 2 locations, one in Boardman, one in Columbiana. Listen in as Sweet Melissa's Good Eats owner, Melissa Poland, tells us all the delicious details.
My name is Melissa Poland, and I own Sweet Melissa's Good Eats. I got started with the idea by working with Gosains. I realized I had a passion, and it was really easy for me. When I would go to work for them, it didn't feel like work, so I knew that, okay, this is something I could probably do forever. My husband said to me, if you don't try this, you're probably going to regret this for the rest of your life. And he said, what do we lose, Melissa? So I did a really tough thing, and I decided, all right, it's time for me to go, and maybe I should kind of follow my own dream. There weren't a whole lot of lunch places, kind of grab-and-go lunch places that you could hurry up, go in, get something that was good, and then, go back to work, or you could eat it here. And I just thought, salad, you can't really change the taste of your vegetables or your lettuce, but you can change what you put on a salad. And just the creative nature of the salad dressings that we make, or the vinaigrettes that we make, and how we top our salads, it hadn't really been done. People ask me all the time, did you ever think it was going to get this big? And absolutely not. I had a lot of people, and they were nice about it, but at the very beginning, I had people telling me, it's just not going to fly. You're not going to be able to sell salads in the valley. But people responded. And store number 2 came into play down in Columbiana County, and we're going to do store number 3. We're actually in the talks right now with a location up in Howland, and I feel so good about it. The day that one of the representatives walked in from the chamber, and she presented me with the Salute to Business award by saying that I had been nominated for this amazing award, I got goosebumps up and down my arms, and I said, oh my God, this is such an honor, because it really is. I can't thank them enough for looking at a small woman-owned business and giving such an amazing award. And I hope this speaks to all those women out there that want to, jump into the business world, because we can do it.
Please congratulate our Small Business Professional of the Year, Ms. Melissa Poland. You are truly inspiring. And breaking news there, a 3rd location. We caught that. Wow. Now again, Melissa, congrats on achieving such great success in our valley. Truly, it's wonderful, a joy to see you, visit you, see you as a leader, female leader, and enjoy the delicious salads. She has so many good flavors. You probably have a favorite if you haven't been there already. It is fantastic. So we're looking forward to seeing you up here in Trumbull County now. There's a lot happening here at the Eastwood Mall Complex, so people need a salad on the go. It's delicious. Okay. Now our next award, Nonprofit Professional of the Year, honors leaders of nonprofits for their organizational innovation, strategic leadership, and collaborative efforts. Our recipient has a crucial role in assisting more than 3,000 individuals, helping them build self-sufficient lives despite the significant barriers that they may face through services such as workforce training, employment placement, development, and financial literacy skills. Much more goes into this as well, so please turn your attention to the screens to once again meet Dion Lacey, co-founder and executive director of United Returning Citizens.
My name is Dion Dowdy Lacey, and I am the Executive Director for United Returning Citizens. United Returning Citizens are nonprofit organizations that help people to come home from incarceration to self-sufficiency. This was a personal stand that I took because I had people in my family that were returning citizens and felons, and they just couldn't seem to make a move forward. And so I asked them, what did they need to be able to be self-sufficient? And they were saying that they needed opportunities and resources. It's been 10 years that we've been doing this. We started off with just, basically helping them with jobs, or going to employers, asking them if they would hire people, to having brunches to get the fathers together so that they could have resources and be stable within the household, just whatever that they basically came with needs for. Our recidivism rate now, it was 37, and now it's 32. So, we have a little better than what we were before, but we're working on it. And just like now, we came around and we was like, we've been doing these services, these direct services. How much of an impact has that really been for us? And so now we're saying like, wow, we need to do a mindset. We need to focus more of the mindset of them changing, because we send them to so many of the jobs, and and then they come back within a week or two, like, I'm looking for another job. So I'm like, well, I don't understand that. You just, you were hired there. But they had a moment, and they didn't know how to handle the moment with their mindset. And so now they were fired. So I'm like, well, let's concentrate, on that. And so that's something that we're concentrating on now, just the mindset, like our soft skills. We give hope. We believe, that things can change. We've seen them change. We've seen people change. We've seen systems change, So many things are different now. You just can't steer on the status quo. Sometimes you have to go out of the box. When I found out that we had an award, we were very excited because that means they see us, And we want to thank the Youngstown Foundation, the Community Foundation, and the Wing Foundation. I want to thank the city and the community for supporting us. And I want to thank my team. Without my team, we would not be what we are today. I appreciate you, I love you, and we're just going to continue to do this work.
Wow, congratulations, making so much progress. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our Nonprofit Professional of the Year, Ms. Dion Dowdy-Lacey. Our last salute this award this morning is dedicated to labor achievement, and I am pleased to introduce our Salute to Labor Achievement Award, our sponsor. And to give remarks and present this local award, please welcome Billy Keel, United Way Labor Liaison for the Western Reserve Building Trades in our area, and a past recipient of this very award.
Good morning. I was asked to take and present this award to Tony DiTomaso, but I'd like to explain a little bit about Tony. I've known him for 20 years. I was a painter business agent before this with the West Reserve Building Trades. Tony, I got me the job at United Way. They kind of forced me to do it, but anyway, they said, you're going to do this, so I did. And I can say for the last 10 years that I've been at United Way, we've built over 40 wheelchair ramps for people in the community. And Tony DiTomaso is the reason that they get built. I take him to where they're at. He draws it up. He gives me a material list. I go get the wood. We come back. He gets the building trades guys that can help build the ramps, and that's what we do. And it's a big part to him. I'm just going to give you an example of the last one. We built one about 3 weeks ago. This ramp was 47 feet long, okay, and it ended up being 5 feet wide. It's the biggest ramp we've ever done. Tony got a couple carpenters. We got 11 pipe fitters, and we did this ramp in a day and a half. And halfway through the thing, this is the type of person that Tony DiTomaso is. Guy hit him with a sledgehammer right here in the hand. Split it wide open. Tony goes, drops it over the water, puts a rag around it, and it keeps going. Okay, the next day we finish it. I was like, I couldn't have did that, He's the type of guy that gives you everything. He's got a heart, I'm going to say, bigger than my head, okay? He's just a great guy. But those are my comments that I get to say before I get to read this. So and now it is my true honor for me to introduce our last Salute Award recipient of the morning. The Salute to Labor Achievement Award was recognized by individuals or groups that exemplify the spirit of today's competitive labor management environment and or positively enhance the economic vitality of the Mahoning Valley through education, leadership, and volunteerism. The Western Reserve Building Trades and the Regional Chamber partnered over a decade ago to present the special award and are proud to recognize an individual we feel has been more than an asset to his trade. And we've come full circle as he has stood on this stage and presented this award at times over the years. Tony DiTomaso Jr. is a father, a husband, and a first-generation American. His father, Antonio DiTomaso Sr., was a proud union carpenter, retiring in 1998 and remained a member until his passing in 2022. Tony Jr. has been a member of the Carpenters Local of 171 for 37 years, working in the field as a carpenter, a foreman for nearly 20 years. His first elected to office as a trustee for the local in 2007 and then president in 2010, where he served 3 terms before being elected financial secretary in 2019, a position he still holds. I am proud and honored to ask you to please turn your attention to the screens one last time to meet Anthony D. Tommaso Jr.
I've been a carpenter for Carpenters Local 171 for the past 37 years. My family is all carpenters. My dad always told us to strive to do more, be more, do better than him, and we all decided to be carpenters like him. 4 boys, all carpenters. I never would have thought that I'd be sitting here as a business agent for the Carpenters Union. I worked for the company my father worked for. Probably had 16 years with them before becoming a rep. I served 20 years in the field, and I've been a business agent for about 17 years. When I got hired, I'd already been doing volunteer projects with union counselors. We would do things in the community, build a wheelchair ramp, fix a door for somebody, trying to help our union brothers and sisters. A lot of people think of the union as costing more and stuff like that. What the union to me is those people that want to band together to help their brothers and sisters. They want to do for the community. They want to raise up a group. They want to help people get their start in life and get a good paying job, and then even be able to retire with some dignity. So I'm very proud that I was able to do my career as a carpenter, but I also recognize the entire skill trades, all the crafts from the building trades, and the efforts that they do in the community. And the way we work with our elected officials, with our municipalities, with the businesses in the area, it's a far cry from what people projected unions to be years ago. We're growing, we're getting stronger, and it's about being a part of your community, helping it to be better and stronger. When I was notified that I was selected by the Western Reserve Building Trades to be acknowledged this way, it was humbling. I think that there's a lot of people out there that came before me, and I'm just standing on their shoulders today to be acknowledged. My list of thank yous could be long, but I thank God, I thank my family, my wife. I thank my father, my mother, the Western Reserve Building Trades. I have to thank them too, because it's because of that collaboration with my other union brothers and sisters. Together, we become stronger, and we can do more things and help more people in the valley.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me celebrate our 2024 Salute to the Labor Achievement Award recipient, Mr. Tony D. Tommaso.
All right, Tony, your work has certainly been impactful in our community and the Chamber for many years. We salute you for your longtime commitment and dedication to the Carpenters and Western Reserve Building Trades and ensuring that our community is the best place to live, work, and play. Again, please, let's all salute the businesses and award honorees. One final round of applause for their hard work. Really quickly, I'd like to have some of our local elected leaders stand and be recognized for being here today. State Senator Al Catrona, State Rep Nick Santucci, State Rep Tex Fisher, State Rep-elect Dave Thomas, and other elected officials. If you could just stand, thank you for being here. Again, they play a pivotal role with our businesses in the region. They fight for us at the table for local, state, federal funding, and definitely listen to all of their needs and keep this a thriving local economy, so thank you again. All right, one final award to present this morning. So excited to have this honor. The Regional Chamber established the Valley Champion Award in 2021. This was to recognize Valley natives who have gone on to accomplish greatness in their careers, but they never forgot where they came from, the Valley. So this morning, we are proud to welcome back home for this recognition a Brookfield native, Sarah O'Brien, sitting next to me this morning. She has owned and operated Little Tart Bake Shop in Atlanta's Grant Park neighborhood for over a decade. And what started as a her farmer's market table has grown to a business with 3 different locations. She has multiple market tables and a sister soft serve shop, Big Softies, so multi-businesses here. Sarah is passionate about using the best of what is grown and made in Georgia, and is about to be moving the needle in the food industry toward higher wages and sustainable employment. Growing up on a 100-acre farm among a family of home cooks and bakers, she seemed destined for the culinary life. She said when she turned 10 that her grandmother walked into the house with a rolling pin and a bag of apples, and she said that she was now old enough to learn to bake. You remember your grandma, she always has the rolling pins, get the flour out, you're doing things in that kitchen, or doing dishes, but hopefully you're baking. And bake she did, later falling in love with the French pastries during her trip to Paris as a teen, landing a teaching fellowship in Paris and convincing bakers at Les Vins and Marais. I practiced this a little bit. Okay, watching Emily in Paris is all I can do on Netflix. They let her go ahead and show off her talents. So Sarah is a grad of Brown University and the Iowa Writers Workshop. She has been nominated as a semifinalist for the James Baird Outstanding Baker Award 3 times. And you generally find her in the kitchen at a little tart-making pie dough by hand moment, surrounded by her incredible team. She just loves to bake and make sweets. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her to the podium, Sarah O'Brien.
Thank you. Thank you to the Youngstown-Warren Chamber of Commerce for this award. I am so honored to be named a Valley Champion and thrilled to be accepting this award in front of friends and family. I started Little Tart Bake Shop 13 years ago with a table at a farmer's market. I was lured to the South because my best friends had settled in Atlanta, and the promise of more sunshine and a longer growing season sounded quite nice after the April snowstorms of my youth. I got a full-time job at the CDC and baked on nights and weekends. My rickety old station wagon was just big enough to fit a tent, table, a chalkboard sign, a red gingham tablecloth, and a rack of pastries, and Little Tart Bake Shop was born. I now have 3 bakeries and 1 soft serve shop. I'm opening the 2nd location of my soft serve shop, Big Softy, tomorrow, which is why I'm flying back right after this breakfast. To go from 1 employee, me, and 1 market table to over 80 employees in 5 stores is a pretty remarkable journey, especially for someone who has never taken a business class and got a degree in comparative literature and poetry. Here's the thing. It turns out everything I needed to know to run a successful business I learned on a 100-acre farm in Brookfield, Ohio, from the 4 people who raised me. My grandparents live next door, and my love of food comes directly from how much time I spent with them. My grandmother was the cook of the family, and when I was 10 years old, she marched over to my house with a rolling pin and a bag of apples. Turns out I was old enough to learn how to make apple pie, and from then on, I was the family baker. I still have that rolling pin. From her, I learned how to pay attention to the level of hydration in my pie dough and the sweetness of my apples. She liked to bake with Rome and Cortland varieties from the orchard up the road in Hartford. She baked for her large family, but also for the priests at the local church. From listening to her, I gleaned that if you can make 12 cinnamon rolls, you can make 48. And baking as a way to make some extra money must have lodged itself in my brain quite early on. I think she would be very proud and a little amused at my career choice and her hand in it. From my grandfather, I learned what it is to savor food. He was the perfect person to cook for. He would lean over his plate, say nothing, eat every drop, then lean back, pat his belly, and smile. My grandparents cooked for us and my parents, and then later I cooked for them, and cooking as a way of showing love and care was forever imprinted on me. From my mother, I learned service. She cared for her 4 children and my father, and her beautiful dignity and selflessness. I am in the service industry, which is sometimes treated as being a little less than. But I learned from an early age what it means to care for others, to see the person in front of you, and to try to get them what they need. My bakeries and soft serve shops are known for being incredibly welcoming places where the person in front of us is more than just the money they are about to spend. I have watched children grow up in my bakery. People have started chatting in line at my bakery, not knowing they were meeting their eventual spouse for the first time. True story. A bakery is the heart of a community. My mother is the heart of our family, and I think of her when I see the joy and comfort that people find in my businesses. The person I learned the most from is sitting right here. My father started his own business, Ryan Construction Company, at the ripe old age of 29, the same age I was when I opened the doors to our first brick and mortar location. Entrepreneurship is in my blood. It's no surprise that all 4 of the O'Brien children are entrepreneurs and run their own companies. We grew up watching our father work hard and take immense pride in that work. He used to say we deliver our projects on time and on budget. I understand now that I have built out 5 businesses that a good contractor is worth their weight in gold. To do anything, you need someone who cared enough to build you solid walls and to make sure all of the necessary, intricate systems run right. You need someone who didn't cut any corners and built that building as if they were the one who was going to work or live in it. My dad talked a lot about repeat customers, about how his customers trusted him after they worked with him once and realized that he would work with integrity and honesty and always do right by them. From listening to him from the job site visits every Saturday of my youth, I learned what it is to stand behind your product, to always make the right way, to be honest and true to your word. My customers trust us. They know we source the best ingredients we can, and that if we say something is organic or local, it actually is. They know exactly what they are paying for when they support my company because we are honest and transparent about where our money goes. I have seen many of the same customers every week for the past 13 years. You don't create that kind of relationship with a customer unless they want to support you fully, your policies, your values, and your vision. From my father, I learned how to treat people. I've never seen him treat anyone with anything other than respect and dignity. I've never known my father to boast or to look down on anyone. From him, I learned to never act like I'm more important than anyone else and to treat my staff and customers the way I would want to be treated. One of my employees recently moved to New York City after working for me from the ages of 16 to 20. Little Tart was his first job. Fran, he said, that's my nickname at the bakery, you taught me how I should be treated in a job, how I deserve to be treated. The way we treat each other matters. I learned that from my dad, and the example I gave my young employee will hopefully resonate in his next job. And then maybe he'll open his own restaurant someday and treat his team well too. From my father, I learned about doing your best to improve your community, about sharing when you have more than enough. I am proud that at my company, my team earns a fair wage, that they have benefits and paid time off, and a place where they can come to work and feel respected and valued. And I'm proud that we have constantly shown up for the community that shows up for us by raising money for organizations we believe in and answering the call when our friends need help. 4 years ago, after reading how hard it was for Black business owners to get PPP money, money that helped save my business during the pandemic, I helped found an organization called Southern Restaurants for Racial Justice. And with huge support from Heinz, we have given out over $3 million to Black-owned food businesses across the country. Applications are actually open now for our 4th round, which will bring our total awards to over $4 million. On a smaller but very impactful scale, we started a first-time home buyer program at my company. We give employees $2,500 toward buying their first home. As housing has gotten more expensive around the bakery, I realized that the most important thing we could do was figure out how to help our team not get priced out of the community they work in. We've given out 9 of these grants and are about to give out a 10th. That's $25,000 toward my team owning their own homes. When you can be both profitable and help people in ways that will positively impact them and their family for years to come, that feels like a superpower. From my father, I learned it's not just about being successful and making money and earning the respect of your community. That's all great. I learned true success in business is also about lifting other people up, about trying to make the community that has supported you even better by making it better for everyone who lives in it. So it turns out you can learn everything you need to know to run a successful business, except maybe QuickBooks, on a farm in Ohio. So thanks, Pops.
Congratulations, Sarah. It is an honor to present with you this award, the Valley Champion Award, and you're also, like the other recipients, getting an official declaration from the governor's office. Congratulations, and thank you to her family. Also, please stand. Thank you for being here to see this moment. Thank you so much. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to turn over the program to our keynote presentation sponsor for remarks and to introduce our keynote speaker. The team at Lake to River, created and launched with the support of the Regional Chamber, has been off and running really to strengthen and grow our economy through their efforts ever since. So please welcome for remarks, followed by the introduction of our keynote speaker, Alexis Sweeney-Blockon, Interim CEO of Lake to River.
Good morning. I'm Alexis Sweeney-Blockon from Lake to River, Jobs Ohio's newest economic development region. We're honored to support the Regional Chamber's Salute to Business event as it's so deeply connected to our mission. And on behalf of our entire team, congratulations to each of today's awardees. Thank you as well to WFMJ and Lindsay McCoy for emceeing this morning. The work we do at Lake to River is inherently very competitive. When we're talking to businesses and investors about locating in our region, these prospects are also weighing options in other states or even other parts of Ohio. What they research in our local news can be a factor in their investment decisions. For that reason, we believe Lake to River and our local media partners share a profound responsibility to grow our region's economy, and that when telling stories, we do it through a lens that attracts businesses and reflects positively on the Valley. All of the people in this room, all of us, are showing up every day to bring wins to the region, and we look forward to working together with our media partners to bring these wins home. A quick update on Lake to River. Since Governor DeWine's exciting announcement on April 24th that our 7th Jobs Ohio region had been created, Lake to River has hit the ground running. We're fortunate to have a strong team, a great board, and an amazing network of partners because we're moving full speed ahead in 3 mission-critical directions. Number 1, we're a startup. Mind you, we're a startup with more than 50 years of combined economic development experience. But Lake to River is still new, so we're out and about building awareness, establishing our brand, and introducing ourselves throughout the region. That includes getting to know Route 11 pretty well, both north and south, visiting Ashtabula and Columbiana counties weekly to form relationships with our partners, business and community leaders, and elected officials. We are meeting with company decision makers in all 4 counties every day through our business retention and expansion program to uncover and address company challenges and opportunities. Special thanks to Greg Myers from Ashtabula Growth Partnership and Penny Trena from Columbiana County Port Authority for facilitating many of those meetings and introductions. Number 2, we're an economic development agency that does the work. In 2024, the Lake to River region has seen more than $42 million of capital investment in real estate and the purchase of machinery and equipment, and this is just the beginning. Collectively, companies including Dawn Incorporated, Heinz Industries, TTM Technologies, Ursa Major, and others have committed to the creation of 171 new jobs and the retention of more than 500. The region is experiencing economic growth and job creation through our key industries, and investments are being made by companies of all sizes. We now have full-time economic development advocates in all 4 counties. We've got unique assets within our region to market and sell, including the collaborative nature of our community leaders and economic development partners. We're seeing firsthand how attractive that is to investors. And finally, we're working on a plan to sustain our regional operations long term. We've gotten off to a strong start thanks to many people in this room today, but we need more investors to help us continue this work. We hope you'll join us in support. There are many examples in this room of what we need in economic development to be successful long term. We need more business people to see that we have all the elements needed to do great things. An incredible university, hardworking Ohioans who are passionate about where they live, a media that can benefit in telling the story of why people should invest. We hope you'll join us and help us build together. Thank you to the Regional Chamber for bringing the business community together for this program, and thank you all for giving Lake to River a moment of your time this morning. Our emails, phone lines, and doors are always open to anyone interested in learning more about us, and more importantly, what we can learn about you. So thank you. It is now my distinct honor to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. Robert Schlager is a 6-year veteran of the Han High Technology Group, known as Foxconn, which, as noted earlier, is celebrating 50 years in business. He oversees Han High USA Communications with Foxconn Technology Group. Robert works with the corporate team in Taipei, Taiwan, to support the operations of multiple Foxconn business units and their 5,500 employees within the United States. He is responsible for corporate communications, public relations, and government affairs in the U.S., while supporting other elements of business development and investor relations. Additionally, he works closely with headquarters in Taiwan on matters that pertain to the company's interests elsewhere in the world, such as Latin America and Asia Pacific. Robert is a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Madison and Georgetown University, and a shareholding owner of the Green Bay Packers. Foxconn is the world's 3rd largest privately held employer with 1.3 million employees and more than $200 billion in annual sales. Just this week, our team at Lake to River hosted the Jobs Ohio North American Business Development Team to show off some unique assets in our 4 counties. Sarah Boyarko and her team showed them around, and they were so excited about the opportunities available for companies to come to a place like Foxconn. We look forward to working together to bring new companies to the former GM Lordstown complex. The company has already invested hundreds of millions of dollars here and employs hundreds of people right here in Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm Valley welcome to Robert Schlager and put our hands together to show him how much we appreciate Foxconn's presence in the Lake to River region.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, yes. Thank you so much for that very kind introduction. And yes, I do have to admit, I am a Green Bay Packers shareholder. It sits right next to all those diplomas that Alexa described, because us Wisconsinites and Green Bay Packer fans are very proud of it. But what I am equally proud of this morning is to be here this morning before all of you. On behalf of Foxconn, Foxconn's chairman, Foxconn's chief product officer, Jerry Xiao, members of the Foxconn Ohio leadership team, such as Li Ting Kai, Michael Repetto, Shane Brown, and the employees at Foxconn Ohio, let me extend a sincere gratitude to Guy, his team, and the winners of distinguished awards for allowing Foxconn to share the stage with you this morning. Foxconn is a large company, and there is a lot that can certainly be discussed this morning. But to keep this speech from spilling into our long holiday weekend, which is right upon us, I have a focused desire this morning that members of this audience walk away with a better understanding of 4 things. What is Foxconn? Its leadership, why electric vehicle, and why Ohio? In 1974, Foxconn started with 1 man in Taiwan at 1 location with a $7,500 family loan. 50 years later, and yes, it is our 50th anniversary that we celebrate in 2024, Foxconn employs over 1 million people, and its seasonal peak, it can extend up to 1.3 million people across the world, which are at 200 different campuses across 24 different nations. This global footprint includes countries such as Mexico, Brazil, China, Taiwan, Japan, Vietnam, India, I almost said Indiana there, India, because I do have Indiana on my mind, that's gonna come later. Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary. There is, of course, our United States of America, which Foxconn first came to in 1980. Today, Foxconn employs approximately 5,500 people at 40 sites or manufacturing locations that range from Virginia, Indiana, Wisconsin, Texas, California, and of course, here in northeastern Ohio. Foxconn is an electronics manufacturer and solutions provider. As one news editor from a global media outlet once told our team, Foxconn is at the nexus of everything we care about. From my experience, I'd be willing to bet that if I asked members of this audience to pull out your cell phones or describe to me the range of products and electronics that are either at your homes or offices, we would be able to find a product manufactured by Foxconn. I wager this bet because the line of products that Foxconn manufactures is vast. It is so incredibly vast. Foxconn manufactures 40% of the global market share for all consumer electronics that intersect with our everyday lives. 40% of the global market share of electronic products that intersect with our everyday lives. These can be the phones that we do a lot on, but certainly that we use to communicate with. These can be the tablets that we touch, the displays we watch, the computers we work on. In our line of work, in our industry, these products can be categorized in what's called information communication technology, otherwise known as ICT. There is another out of sight and thus sometimes out of mind sector of ICT that is within the data center. I'm talking about the data server. And in our 21st century digital age, Foxconn also manufactures 4 out of every 10 server known to our species here today. And it is these servers that go inside of data centers. Even more so, Foxconn produces 70% of the world's supply of graphic processing units, or GPUs, that go onto our AI servers. So who's using AI? Who uses ChatGPT? I do, I'll be honest with you. Okay. So whether it is AI, streaming services, cloud services, or online banking, your online shopping, or the apps that we use from our phones, such as Yogo, that we heard earlier from today, we need data center. And inside of data center are data servers. If footprint is one way to measure, and in addition, market share is one way to measure the scale of Foxconn Technology Group, you can measure by the sense of scale of our revenues. Our annual revenue floats between 220 to 225 billion US. If that revenue was the size of the GDP of a nation state, Foxconn would be larger than Hungary in Eastern Europe and just smaller than New Zealand in Asia Pacific. If that GDP was measured by that of a state within our great union, Foxconn is larger than Kentucky to the south and 20 subsequent states, a part of our great union. Thus, what one may see of Foxconn in the United States is only a part of the global footprint. But this footprint in the United States is important because it's where the company is, and it's where the company wants to grow in response to emerging business opportunities. Before I get into the topic of emerging business opportunities, let me tell you a little bit about now our leadership. Foxconn is led by Chairman Young Liu. He is a serial entrepreneur who started 3 companies of his own before joining Foxconn. His first startup was a motherboard maker, which was founded in the United States and that he successfully sold in the 1990s. Another startup was a semiconductor design company that was listed on the NASDAQ in the early 2000s. As an engineer by training, fluent in Mandarin and English, Chairman Young Liu will typically says he likes to debug things. When he became chairman in 2019, Foxconn, the company, was 45 years old. Armed with the mentality to debug emerging challenges, Chairman Liu bore the responsibility of directing this incredibly big company into the next 50 years of its existence. He had to ask himself what industries and technologies are emerging that in the context of Foxconn are big enough to sustain continued success for the company with revenues equivalent to that of national GDPs. His direction, it's what Foxconn now calls 3+3 strategy. 3+3 represents business pursuits across 3 technologies: semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and next-generation communications. Across 3 industries: robotics, digital health, and electric vehicle, which brings us here today to the Voltage Valley. In regard to why electric vehicle, let me begin with this. Contract manufacturing for the types of products that I just described that are a part of information and communication technology is incredibly competitive. But Foxconn has thrived in this kind of environment for a long time. And with more than 3 decades of experience in ICT, this has taught the company a lot. For example, in the decade from 1990, the average selling price of the personal computer dropped. Margins declined, and this triggered contract manufacturing. Foxconn believes that what happened with ICT can happen for electric vehicles as well. Presently, the EV industry is facing price pressures with little to no options for contract manufacturing, which now leads to Foxconn's value proposition with this acronym. This acronym, CDMS, otherwise known as Contract Design Manufacturing Services. Contract and design manufacturing services is the foundation of what Foxconn is doing with electric vehicles. Foxconn can be your total solutions provider. Foxconn can work with you from concept to design to manufacturing, or we can be your bespoke manufacturer. Essentially, you tell us how you want an EV made, we can make it, we are CDMS. First unveiled to the market in 2021 at our annual Shanghai Tech Days in Taipei, Taiwan, Foxconn's reference prototypes of electric vehicles have now been transported to trade fairs all around the world. The family of prototype vehicles now include a luxury sedan, an SUV, a pickup, and even a city bus. These prototypes are platforms which demonstrate to potential customers Foxconn's ability to leverage a wide network of supply chain and technical expertise in order to bring our customers' product to market. In regards to market, the United States remains the top destination for foreign direct investment. More so, the Midwest is one of 2 regions in the United States that's incredibly positioned to attract this FDI. The competition for FDI is not just about GDP or jobs. It's for policymakers, it's also about a matter of making a country more resilient and secure. At the same time, there is a business opportunity in working with startups, joint ventures, or OEMs to manufacture their electric vehicle in the United States near their target markets. Onto this great state, there are several important characteristics within the state of Ohio that captured Foxconn attention when selecting its EV North American operations. While this list is not exhaustive, I want to leave you with 5 key highlights. 1, Ohio's centralized geography within the North American supply chain and rich history for automobile manufacturing. Number 2, Foxconn's proximity to our Wisconsin campus, where to date, Foxconn has invested nearly $2 billion in 5 years with over 1,000 employees who are showing up to work, I think, just about now, who make data servers in a country that drives 1/3 of the global data center demand. Number 3, Ohio's business-friendly climate and institutions such as Guy Coviello, this chamber, his team, and others such as Jobs Ohio, Bright, Lake to River, and elected officials from both parties, some of whom I've recognized and have had the pleasure of meeting, such as Judge O'Brien, Representative Santucci, Mayor Franklin, Mayor Tito Brown, Congressman Rulli, Congressman Joyce. Number 4, Ohio's educational institutions such as Youngstown State University, with now President Johnson. Today, Foxconn owns and operates the 6.2 million square foot facility in Lordstown, Ohio. We own and operate that facility. We now refer to it as Foxconn, Ohio. Under current production at Foxconn, Ohio is the Monarch Mark V tractor, an autonomous electric tractor with swappable batteries that can reduce the environmental cost of bringing food from the farm to our tables, while at the same time supporting the sometimes 24-hour demand for our farmers to reap their fields. Monarch is a talented American startup company in California who Foxconn proudly considers a partner. If you're unfamiliar with Monarch, later today, I encourage you, take a look at their story, take a look at their leadership, and take a look at their product. Whether it is through Foxconn's design manufacturing services or the contractual agreement to manufacture EV for an existing or future brand, more business in response to current and future customer demand means more opportunities for growth in Ohio. The approach to bringing the Foxconn, Ohio facility to scale remains prudent. It will take time. Bringing the facility to scale or manufacturing a product will not always be a straight and smooth road to travel. But that's okay. We know, Foxconn, that the startup culture for electric vehicle companies is going to be competitive. But Foxconn remains confident that the business model for contracting for the contractual agreement to manufacture an electric vehicle will attract the attention of other startups or joint ventures or large OEMs, along with the creative solutions that will come as to what the future of the electric vehicle will look like in response to market demand, consumer demand, these types of things that drive innovation and the changes in the products that we see year over year. Ultimately, the pursuit of anything innovative and disruptive will come with its challenges. But that too is also okay, because challenges are only opportunities to overcome. I said that there were 5 characteristics that attracted Foxconn to Ohio. I certainly, as I conclude, cannot forget the 5th. It is the 500, just about, employees who work at Foxconn, Ohio. It's people like Ray, who designs production builds and leads by mentoring. Tom, who creates training curriculums. Carter, Matt, Lindsay, Shannon, and Amanda, who support business development. Kevin, who oversees health and wellness programs such as morning ergonomic stretching, very important, and also important, cancer screenings on site. It's Earl, who ensures that the workforce every day they show up to work has a healthy and diverse lunch options. It's the bottom-up and top-down efforts of the workforce and the leadership who go shopping for kids with the Salvation Army every Christmas, year-round give blood to the American Red Cross, collect food for the War and Family Mission, raise thousands of dollars for the Youngstown Boys and Girls Club, Northeast Ohio Adoption Services, and in partnership with our scrappers, even more money for Mercy Health, the Rich Center for Autism, and the Fairhaven Foundation. It's the efforts of staff who volunteer their time with students studying, and students, the next generation of the workforce that will sit in these chairs with us someday, who are studying science, technology, engineering, and math at Warren schools such as Jefferson, Lincoln, McGuffey, and Willard. What is also at Foxconn embodies the spirit of the Valley. This community, all of you who are in this room, and those who have been recognized this morning. Guy, it is clear that this region is a better place because of the efforts of your leadership, your team, to harness the spirit of the Valley and to salute others. On behalf of Foxconn Technology Group, the company thanks you, and it thanks everybody who is in this room this morning. Thank you.
Thank you again. Really briefly, before we get rolling to the finish line, we have some gift cards to announce. We don't have last names on a couple of them, but just bear with me. You can stop at the registration table on the way out if your name is called. All right, so we have Joe Caruso from Compass Community Services, Jack Colonna from Shapes Unlimited, Betsy from Valoric, and Jody from Thomas Steele. So if your name was just called, make sure you stop at that registration table on the way out to pick up your gift card. Congrats.
Thank you, Lindsay. Congratulations, Sarah. Very wonderful morning today. Want everybody to think about something. Terry Gao, in his garage in Taiwan, with a $7,500 family loan, founded a company called Foxconn, a company that today employs more than 1 million workers, a company with a growing presence right here in the Mahoning Valley. Think about Greg DePorser. He and his wife quit their jobs, sold almost every possession, including the family automobile, to start their business. It's now a worldwide enterprise headquartered right here in the Mahoning Valley. Right here in the Mahoning Valley, entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well, not just inventing, but reinventing. Over the past 18 months or so, we worked with our partners, the Western Reserve Port Authority, the Eastgate Council of Governments, Valley Partners, the Youngstown Foundation, and now Goodwill Industries. We relaunched Lake to River, reinventing the Mahoning Valley's approach to economic development so we are better positioned to seize the opportunities before us. Thank you, Alexa. We are, very soon, co-hosting a trade delegation from Vietnam. 23 Vietnamese companies canceled a trip to Texas and will spend 4 days here, creating opportunities for chamber members to export goods and services and to expand their supply chain options. And you'll all receive details from us about this trade mission that we are doing in partnership with Youngstown State University and Lake to River. We are focused on regrowing our population, and in October we'll announce strategies to get more working-aged people off the sidelines and into employment. We are focused on rebuilding our housing stock. And now listen to this from the New York Times. Top cities in the U.S. ranked by the projected increase in new apartment units built between 2024 and 2028. Now, I know that's a mouthful, so let me say it again. Top cities in the U.S. ranked by the projected increase in new apartment units built between now and 2028. Number 1, New York. Number 2, Phoenix. Number 3, Raleigh. Number 4, Charlotte. Number 5, Nashville. Number 6, Austin. Number 7, yes, number 7, Youngstown, Ohio. We are the 7th fastest growing region in new apartment units to handle our growing workforce, to handle our growing economy. So to all of you, to our ever-growing number of partner-level chamber members whose corporate banners can be seen throughout this facility, to our staggering record-setting 32 corporate sponsors for today's breakfast, to all 600 of you, we had to add tables this morning, the largest salute to business breakfast since 2007. Your unwavering support for the Regional Chamber team, and Robert, I appreciate the kind remarks, but it is the team, is making a difference right here in the Mahoning Valley. Thank you. Have a great day.